Hello everyone. Thank you for joining today. My name is Nicola Williams and I'm the recruitment manager for Merthyr EE. Thank you for Legacy International for asking us to join today. It's a great opportunity for us to be able to explain how we support disability and specifically our candidates who want to apply. But instead of me kind of just jumping straight in, I thought I would just explain a little bit about EE and who we are, just in case some people are not aware of who EE and where we are based. So in regard to EE, so we part of the BT group. I specifically work in the Merthyr Contact Centre. We have around 800 employees, and we have two different positions in EE Merthyr, two different roles, and I'll explain them roles a little bit later on. So I'm going to share my screen just to give you a couple of slides instead of having just looking at and to look at me for the next hour or so. So I'll just double check to see if you can see the screen. Sorry, 2 seconds. If someone don't mind just to say if you're able to see that screen, say hello to EE.
Yes, all good, Nicola.
Brilliant, thank you. So in regard to EE, we massive, well, myself and EE, we're massively passionate about helping and supporting people into work, get back into work, whether it's their first job, and looking at how I can help and support Merthyr and the surrounding areas to get people into work. So in regard to EE, the two different roles that we particularly have that we apply externally for is the technical advisor role, which is customer services, but that technical role you will be dealing with queries such as my handset is broke, my data isn't working, signal isn't working, so you would be dealing with them type of queries. The second role is a sales advisor role, where the different roles, so you have customers wanted to cancel or customers wanted to join the EE, and then that department is their KPIs, their targets is specifically on building new customer base and also keeping the customers that we have as well. Please feel free to ask questions as well along the way. I've got the presentation up so I can't see anybody's faces, so just shout out if you have any questions for me. So in regard to the role and in regard to specifications, so on both applications of our role that goes up on the Indeed website and the EE website, there's, in regard to disabilities, everybody can apply. So there's not different applications or, it's out there for anyone to apply. However, obviously there's some jobs may have essential requirements that you would need in that role, but we absolutely always look at adjusting any job specifications if we can to help and support people in their jobs. So application process, we make sure that if there's any adjustments, for example, large print or a request for anything different, and maybe user haven't got access to a PC, then we'd look at different ways that you can apply or help that individual with their application to apply. It is an online application, but we don't ask for any CVs. We basically just ask for the name and a couple of details about that person. So if they've had experience in call centre work and what their previous work history has been, if any. In regard to adjustments, what we do, make sure that, for example, if that candidate, then when we the next step would be to put them through to an interview. The interview stage, the first stage, is a test stage. So if that candidate needed an adjustment, for example, so if that candidate wouldn't is not able, maybe dyslexic, or they're not able to use to go through that test, we would look at adjusting that test and going through the process a different way. Also, if they are successful and they get through to the final stage of an interview with EE, and we would look at the moment, everything is virtual anyway. So at the moment, we do our interviews through Teams, and then people are able to go onto video if they're happy to go on video, or they don't have to go on video. When we hopefully go back to face-to-face interviews, then we look at adjustments for individuals. So for example, if a wheelchair, then obviously we'll look at a ground floor interview, and we ask on the interview questions, do you have any adjustments that we need to be aware of? Some individuals, may feel that they don't want to put down because they may feel they're at a disadvantage, but it's purely for us to be able to make those adjustments to give them a better chance in the interview process. Any questions so far? No? Lovely. So in regard to selection, obviously if we reject a disabled candidate, it's only based on the performance of that interview and any adjustments that we've had made, and maybe they still hadn't been able to hit the criteria then for that particular role. Hopefully, if that person is successful, then we would then ask everybody, once they've passed and I ring them to tell them they are successful, we do then ask if there's any adjustments that they need before they start. And then this is when I get involved with my health and safety officer, who would provide a DSE assessment for that individual. It could be different equipment. It could be, the PC down to desk, tables, and then we get any equipment or anything needed for that individual ordered in before the start date, so it's all up and running, ready then for them to be able to be as happy and happy in themselves, that they know they've got everything they need to be comfortable in work as well. Any questions? Nope. So a little bit more about, we've hoped, you can obviously, these photos are a little bit older than a year ago because we haven't been able to stand as close. But this is just example of Merthyr EE and the community spirit that we have. Every single employee has 24 hours a year of volunteering hours, and this can be used as a team, or it can be used individually. So if there's something you're really, really passionate about, a charity or supporting individuals, care homes, for example, Merthyr Mind we support a lot, then you'd have the day off for free, and then you would go and spend time and support the community with your team or individually then. We also have a lot of fun in regard to kind of making the job a lot easier when we have, Wales, fingers crossed, winning the Grand Slam on Saturday. So we have that up on the screen and people dress up. But at the moment, we do have only 15% of staff that are in the building. So the adjustments we've had to make through COVID is, I never thought I'd see the day that we could actually make working from home a success. People that maybe have people themselves or people in their home that are more highly at risk, then we wanted to make sure that they didn't have to come in the office. But then also on the flip side, we have some people, mental health, that really didn't want to work from home. So it's getting that balance. Everybody's obviously social distancing in the building, and we make sure now that we at least 2 meters apart, but if more. We've employed 10 times more cleaning staff to make sure every single touch point, they go around every 30 minutes and spray and clean every single touch point to make sure that people that do want to work there within the building, then they can still work there. In regard to the future, we do very much hope that things will go back to normal. Realistically, I think we will always have a percentage of people that will work from home, which is great because some people travel from, Ammanford and, can travel from Cross Hands, and they take, hour and a half to get to work. They're cutting out that travel time, which is great. But then also, it shows that if it works, then why not let people that prefer to work from home to carry on working from home as well. Any questions? No? I'm getting through this very quickly. Hey, in regard to a little bit more about the role and what we offer and provide. So both roles, sales and customer service technical advisor roles, is 18,500 per year, basic. In sales, you then get a top up with commission. So depending on how much you sell that month and how much target wise you hit, you will then have a target-based top-up for your commission, which is paid monthly. Customer services, exactly the same. You have commission based on if you promote additional products and services to that customer while fixing their problem. You have a top-up, and then also you have a bonus. So you have an NPS score, Net Promoter Score, and if that customer, when you've dealt with that customer, customers randomly have a text message and they basically ask to rate the experience that they've had that day with that advisor. And then fingers crossed, if that customer gives you great, good feedback, you have extra bonus then monthly to top up your wage for that. For me as well, I think people, kind of don't realize the call center environment. If you've never been in the call center before, I'd love to, when we were able to, work from the building. We'd had open days and to show people the environment, to show people as well, the accessibility and for disabled people to be able to show that we can flex in seating arrangements, and especially working from home now. If that's something that's a lot easier, then we can offer that too. But there's so much more, rewards schemes that we have as an employee. The most popular one is employee phone benefits. Every advisor that starts with us gets 75% off their mobile phone bill personally, and then they have 5 phone benefits, so to give to 5 friends and family every year, which is a 30% discount to friends and family. So you can end up quite popular. People asking for a discount voucher from you. There's loads of different, we've got private healthcare, so you can apply, and then BT and EE, they pay a large percentage of the private healthcare, and then you pay a percentage from your pay. We offer things like that. We offer, obviously annual leave, dental plans, cycle to work schemes. We have every year you opt in to a reward scheme as much and as little as possible, to be able to support yourself personally, to make your work-life balance a lot easier as well. Any questions?
Yeah, hi Nicola, it's Nathan here.
Hi Nathan.
Just a quick question from me. Obviously, as a legacy, you've worked with people who have disabilities, mental health illnesses, and long-term health conditions.
Yeah.
And what we find is a lot of people don't like to interact directly with people or with people on the phone. I was just wondering what is the training processes with EE to sort of maybe help with people's confidence before actually getting on the phone with the customer?
Okay, so yeah, absolutely good question. Thank you, Nathan. So in regard to the training, everybody will have it's a 4-week training that it's classroom-based training. So, but at the moment, obviously, it's also virtual training. So people want to work from home, they log in from home then from the computer. The 4 weeks goes through the training from who we are, how to speak to customers, how to deal with queries, building people's confidence, ready to be able to deal with customers' queries, because you do get, in that line of work, you do get a lot of angry and unhappy customers, unfortunately, as well, that you've got to be resilient and be able to deal with that query. So we do offer the full training, and what I have also advised and and offered, if you feel that you have individuals that you think actually they would be very well suited for this role, but they may not be at the level that they need to be able to hit the ground running, then we look at supporting that individual, interview skills, communication skills, ready for them to be able to apply for that role. But we also, Nathan, as you're aware, we have apprenticeships as well within EE. So what the apprenticeship scheme involves is a year's program. It's an NVQ level 3 program for customer services, where there's no age base. So you've got people with no experience whatsoever, or you've got maybe maybe 16, 17-year-olds that's coming out of school, or maybe you have somebody maybe at 50s, 60s that want to get back into work, and they need that a little bit extra help and time. So the year's program is that you would start with us £12,000 a year, and that then you would be going through taking the calls, having training, taking calls, but at a different level, and at I suppose it gives you longer and time to embed what you've learned, whilst then every single week you have iTech, and also we had the college previously go in and supporting our advisors through an NVQ, customer service level 3, and then by that year of training, they are fully fledged to be able to deal with customers' queries and customers' calls. They would then obviously go to the full-time rate of 18,500, and then they would basically graduate to be able to confidently deal with all queries.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Nicola.
No worries.
We've also got another question on the chat from Abby Baker. She's asking, are you just based in Merthyr? And also, would you offer work placement or supported internship to young people with a learning difficulty within your shops across the country?
Yeah, thanks, Abby. So we have, in regard to EE, EE call centre is only based in Merthyr in Wales, but we have in total 22 call centres around the UK. So everywhere, they're dotted everywhere around the UK, in Scotland, England, Wales and Ireland. We have 500 retail stores as well, and so there's opportunities to work in the call centres or in the retail stores. And yeah, absolutely, we offer internships, and we offer to help and support individuals by kind of either working from home or working on site to help and support them get to where they need to be. And that has been successful in the past, and we've had individuals then that have confidently joined the apprentice scheme after that opportunity and are now full-time employees with us.
Brilliant, thank you.
No worries.
What I'm going to do...
Anybody else got any questions?
Sorry, Nicola. What I'm going to do while we are waiting for people to answer questions, I'm just going to put a quick poll up on the screens. It's just it's just one question with an answer from 1 to 10. If everyone could please answer, that'd be fantastic. Thank you.
I'm just noticing there's a chat now. Sorry, Nathan, as well. So I'll bring up the chat just to see. So yeah, so You said, can you contact someone separately regarding this? Yeah, you can contact myself and we can look and speak about this. And what I'll do is I'll give Nathan, well, Nathan knows my contact details, so he can pass them on to you. More than happy for us to have a chat and to maybe have a call and talk about it further. And I can see Tracy, is the working week split throughout the week? Yeah, Tracy, we basically offer different types of shifts. So we offer 8-hour days. So you usually on average work 5 days a week then. But we've got 12-hour shifts. A lot of people prefer working longer because you only work 7 days in 14. So you've got a lot more days off, but obviously a longer shift. You've also then, we have part-time days and part-time evenings. So part-time days, you usually work 3-4 days a week, and it's usually within school hours, so 9:30 till 2:30. And then part-time evenings is usually 4 or 5 times a week, and again, they usually work from about 4 o'clock till 9 o'clock in the night, to cover then the evening shifts. Flexible working hours, yeah, we do, when somebody automatically applies, they join the shift as it is, but then if those shifts doesn't work for them, work-life balance, then we have got a flexible working policy, so they can apply for a bespoke shift that's much better for them. For a question from Alice, do we currently have vacancies? Yeah, so if you go to ee.co.uk, right at the bottom, there's a link that says vacancies. And then if you enter your local postcode, there's currently one technical advisor position at the moment. We haven't got sales positions at the moment, but the technical advisor position, we got 15 people starting on the 6th of April, and we just finishing the recruitment for that. We got another 15 people to recruit for the 10th of May, and another 15 people to start on the 28th of June. Those hours are all an 8-hour rotation at the moment. I'm going to have your email address, please, for Maggie in relation to discussing work placement. Yeah, absolutely, Maggie. Nathan, if you don't mind passing my details on, I'll be more than happy to look then and speak about that further.
Yeah, absolutely not a problem.
Cool. I think there's one more message, just double check. Yeah, so in regard to customer service vacancies in Merthyr, we haven't, we basically, all our customer services roles are technical customer services. So we don't have, we often and support customers with general billing inquiries, but all the customer services roles are technical based. And again, we offer training, in regard to showing a customer mobile phones, tablets, how to help a customer with a query. But it is good for them to be able to know, how to use a mobile phone device, because it gives them that extra confidence as well. In regard to the question from Rhiannon with the IT vacancies, so what we do is, for EE Merthyr, we offer applications externally for the 2 roles, and what we tend to do is any other role, recruitment, training, HR, IT, a lot of that then is internal recruitment. So what people tend to do is start the role with technical customer services, and then we give everybody like a personal development plan, and you have coaching every month to then look at applying for, could be several different vacancies. After you're settled in your role, you can then look at IT, recruitment, other technical roles that are available. Sales roles, at the moment, we get told every 3 months our recruitment plan. So at the moment, we haven't been told for April and for May that there's any sales roles, but our next role will be in June. So we'll have 15 people, fingers crossed, starting in June for the sales roles. What also may be helpful for everybody that's on Facebook as well, we have got a local Facebook page, which I kind of run, and I keep all the roles updated. So as and when they come out, instead of having to manually go on to the EE website, I keep everybody updated on the roles, and it's just called EE Merthyr Recruitment. So if you wanted to add yourself to that, I do then keep you updated on any new roles that are available. Any other questions from anyone? No? Nathan, I'm more than happy, obviously, to if anybody wants to have my contact details, if they wanted a one-on-one chat, a quick call, anything at all, if you wanted to ask or think of something afterwards, then we can go through that then separately.
Yeah, that's not a problem at all, Nicola. Also, if when you do have job vacancies, we're more than happy to put those as job opportunities within the roadshow as well. So we can do a push for you at the same time.
Yeah. Great, and please, if there's anybody that's maybe, unsure of the role, we can go through that with them, and fingers crossed when we're allowed, kind of everything's getting back to normal, you're more than welcome to come onto the site and I'll show you around and, kind of show people what it looks and feels like, get them listening into calls so they can see what it's like taking the calls as well, which really helps. Before they apply, they get a better understanding of what the job is.
That's brilliant. I also want to take the time, Nicola, to thank you very much for coming on board to the roadshow, supporting us with the roadshow as well, and obviously giving fantastic information in regards to the employment processes with EE. So thank you very much.
Yeah, anytime at all. I think there's just one last question. Yeah, just to confirm, if someone isn't successful, if someone hasn't got GCSEs, that's absolutely fine. I started there when I was 18, and I had very few kind of qualifications and GCSEs. It's more about being able to be able to have a conversation with a customer and help them through their any issues and queries that they have. If they're not successful, we would maybe offer them to look at an apprenticeship instead, or if it's just a little bit of feedback they need, they can apply again after 6 months, and then fingers crossed they would then be successful. Thank you for the lovely feedback. I do hope that everybody enjoyed. So I'm really, really passionate and to help people get back into their work and, into work, and whether it's their first job or whether it's, just helping them because they've had a bit of a gap in work as well. So just give me a shout and I'm more than happy to help you in any way I can. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you very much.
No worries. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Also, for everybody who's on the call, so coming up next at 2 o'clock, we have Jamie McCanch's story in regards to his disability. You're more than welcome to join, and it's the same link that you've been using all day as well. So thank you very much. Once again, Nicola, thank you very much.
No worries, Nathan. Take care. Speak soon.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.